Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I give double honors to my apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and a sincere Shalom to your elect out there teaching this truth in all honesty and sincerity in these last days. Okay, and this is a video concerning the MOTV. Okay, and how the MOTV system is being pushed forward. Okay, we know that there's been a large push towards AI and pushing it into the mainstream and making it a daily part of people's lives. Okay, and a lot of these workers out here are going to be replaced by it. Okay, they're going to be flat out replaced by it. Okay, and at the same time, I mean, the recipe is coming together. Let's just say that. Okay, the recipe is coming together, man. You know, because those people are going to need a way to survive. Okay, because everybody lives off this system now. Well, maybe not everybody, but hardly anybody lives off the land anymore. There's really no self-sufficiency, especially here in Babylon. Okay, and the elites want it that way because they want to be in total control of everything. All right, so you have all these people losing their jobs, and they're going to need a way to make ends meet, and that's where the big UBI experiment comes in. Except soon it's not going to be an experiment where they're doing it in just a couple cities. It's going to be widespread, okay, across entire industries, across entire sectors, okay, and there's going to need to be an instrument or an interface where people can buy or sell, okay. And at the same time, you've been having, with this AI revolution happening, you're having them put together the financial part of that system, that digital system, piece by piece, especially in 2025 since Trump got in office. Okay, and I decided to ask ChatGPT. Right? I said, list things. Now, this is going to be a little lengthy. List things that have happened in 2025 concerning cryptocurrencies that show the mark of the beast system is being built and moving forward. Right? Here's a roundup of major cryptocurrency developments in 2025. While none explicitly reference the mark of the beast, of course it's not. Of course it's not. Certain trends around systemic controls and embedded financial systems align with themes sometimes raised in apocalyptic interpretations. Key 2025 crypto developments: U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and Digital Asset Stockpile. In March 2025, President Trump issued an executive order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a broader digital asset stockpile, positioning crypto as a national reserve asset akin to a digital Fort Knox. Okay, number two. So this is the foundation right here. This executive order. Texas state level Bitcoin reserve, June 22nd, 2025. Texas formally established its own strategic Bitcoin reserve law, mirroring the federal initiative and embedding crypto into state-level financial strategy. The Genius Act, and this, in my opinion, okay, again, I'm speaking as a man, but in my opinion, this Genius Act is the big thing. This is the biggest leap forward, okay? The Genius Act, passed by Congress on July 17, 2025, and sign into law the next day. So there was no hesitation when it came to signing this into law. Okay? Introduced strict oversight for stablecoins, requiring one-to-one backing with US dollars or other safe assets. And one of the things that it's not including in that description is that there is a framework being developed with this to implement this. Okay, and all major financial institutions have to be compliant within 3 years. Okay, think about it. Trump has another 3.5 years left. Okay? He has another 3.5 years left. Okay? So it requires a one-to-one backing with US dollars for stable coins and other digital assets. So 3 years from now, we could see this system fully implemented, man. It might even happen before that. Okay, so that's the biggest step forward, in my opinion. Okay? Additional crypto-focused U.S. legislation. Legislation passed by the House includes, and let me just say this, right? The U.S. has the chief reserves currency of the world and is the financial center of the world. Okay? So when America does things, other countries start to follow. And even though it might not be listed in one of these headings or subheadings, right? One of these bullet points, China has also, who used to be really strict against cryptocurrencies, is starting to open up to cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, so you have the two main financial centers of the world opening up to cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Okay, additional crypto-focused U.S. legislation. Legislation passed by the House includes Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, prohibits a centralized U.S. digital currency. Digital Asset Market Clarity Act clarifies regulatory authority between agencies, so they're starting to regulate all this stuff. SEC's number 5, the SEC's Project Crypto and Crypto Task Force on July 31st. Again, these are all 2025. I'm not going to read 2025 no more. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins rolled out Project Crypto, a move to bring securities markets on-chain, signaling growing institutional infrastructure. And all these Fortune 500 companies are moving towards this too. Okay? So this framework, this system is being built right before your eyes. Alright? It's being built right before your eyes, man. Now you may use this with your phone at first, okay, for the big test run, but the goal of these elites is to get everybody C-hip, man. That's going to be the way that you're going to interact with this system, okay? They want to put their mark into you, man. You know, mark you as a slave. If you're going to have to be a slave to them if you want to partake in this system, man. This is why they've separated people from nature, okay? This is why they've made people dependent on the system, because they want to mark as many slaves as possible. Okay? Earlier in the year, in January 2025. Well, hey, let me get a scripture real quick. We get Micah 2 and 1. This is Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity. Okay, and this is what this is. This is a big uh, process that they've all thought out, that they've all had meetings for, that they've all planned out, a conspiracy, if you will, for years and years, man. Okay, and it's at the point where the technology has advanced enough to where they can start implementing it piece by piece. Now, there may be certain uh, disagreements, slight disagreements about how to go about it, but the end goal is the same. Okay? At work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And who gave this devil that power to do this? The Lord, right? The Lord gave him that power to do this, man. And it's going to be the Lord that takes them out right as he's eating, right as he's implementing this system, right as he's forcing these C-hips into people. Okay? Which you may get that scripture next. Hang on, where were we? Okay, earlier in the year, in January 2025, the SEC launched a crypto task force to build clearer regulations around crypto assets. White House crypto policy push. In late July 2025, the Trump administration released a report advocating for widespread integration. And I'll just say this, you know, you brothers that are that may not keep up with this, you know, I get it. Not everybody's an expert on this, but you know, if we're making all these videos about the MOTB, and some brothers may be wondering in their head, you know, how far along or how close truly is it, you know, or how far along is the progress on it, you know, or where's the MOTB, man? It's got to be coming soon. All you gotta do is follow this financial markets, man. These digital financial markets, and the legislation and executive orders that are being placed. Okay, all you gotta do is follow that, and you'll have a good picture of just how far along we are, man, and how close we are to them trying to force it. These elites trying to force it. Okay. White House crypto policy push. In late July, the Trump administration released a report advocating for widespread integration of crypto into areas such as taxation, banking, retirement, mortgages, and cybersecurity, calling it a golden age for digital assets. Okay? Regulatory momentum across states. As of mid-2025, over 40 U.S. states, 40 of them, right, proposed or enacted legislation around crypto. So we kind of hear about what's going on at the federal level, you know, if you watch certain news outlets or whatever. But, you know, we hardly ever hear about what's going on at the state and local levels. Okay? So that kind of was surprising to me when I first read that, when I put that prompt in. You know, I didn't know that all these states were doing all this stuff. Okay? This is one of the reasons why the Lord gives us these advanced tools in these last days, man. Because if you go to Google, well, how the fuck are you going to find all this out? You know? You would have to sit on Google for fucking days to find out what each state is doing. Regulatory momentum across states. As of mid-2025, over 40 U.S. states proposed or enacted legislation around crypto, including regulations for virtual asset kiosks and consumer protections. Okay, what is a virtual asset kiosk? Kind of like a digital ATM. Okay, which the true kiosk is going to be in your right hand or your forehead. Okay, That's where the true chaos is going to end up being. Uh, Prohibitions or limitations related to CBDCs, authorizations for state treasurers to invest public funds in crypto, okay? And designations like Michigan's Digital Asset Awareness Day. So the push is here. Number 8, El Salvador enhances Bitcoin security. Now, if you look at what's been going on with El Salvador, man, they are on the come up. Okay, they are on the come up. They were like literally like the first nation to start to implement this stuff. And ever since they've been implementing it, you know, they got all the gangs off the streets. The people are richer than ever. You know, so they're going to use that as you know, the reason for pushing it. Oh, look what happened to El Salvador, man. It's like fucking Disney World over there. You know, since they implemented this. Okay? But we know that the scriptures say that the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Okay? Because these devils, they like to use esoteric techniques when they're communicating with the people. Esoteric methods, which means hidden. There's always a hidden meaning behind what they say, what they put out there. And that's not a conspiracy theory, that's a conspiracy fact. Okay? It says late August 2025. One second. El Salvador began transferring its Bitcoin reserves, worth approximately $682 million, into multiple wallets, capping each at 500 Bitcoin, along with a public dashboard for transparency. Okay, Gemini IPO prepares to go public on September 2nd, which was a couple days ago. News broke that the Gemini crypto exchange, backed by the Winklevoss twins, they got to be 48ers. They got to be 1948ers. Aim for a U.S. IPO valued at $2.22 billion, signaling growing institutionalization of crypto firms. You don't need to read the summary. Just read the category: national reserves, legislation and regulation, government strategy, state level actions, transparency and security, and institutional and marketization. Okay, so it's moving forward in all different kinds of ways. So then I said, well, you know, ChatGPT likes to space things out. So I just said, just post more. Okay? Post more. And it says additional crypto-related highlights. SEC and CFTC launched joint regulatory initiative on September 2nd, 2025. Today, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission announced a joint initiative to coordinate guidelines around leverage, margin, or financed spot retail commodity transactions on digital assets. Okay? A unified regulatory approach to ensure clarity and investor protection in crypto markets. Okay? See, I heard something about that, but I know that's a big step forward, man. Okay, because that's one of the things that's holding it back is regulatory clarity and offering people protections, because there's a lot of scams and all kinds of things like that, man. You know, like during the last bear market, nobody really knew what was safe and what wasn't. Okay? Because they know that if they want to do this system, okay, they can't have a sharp bear market like they had last time, man. It would destabilize the system, okay? And that's one of the things that's stopping big money from investing in cryptocurrencies. Is there's no insurance or anything like that, okay, or assurance. It's not safe, okay. Stable coins catalyzing global financial modernization. Financial experts and academics argue that stable coins are pushing global finance forward or toward modernization. Okay? And it's one of the things that they're using to push it is the fact that, it's a new way of using money. Okay? It's a lot faster, it's a lot more efficient. You can do more things with it, more utility. Okay? These instruments are prompting central banks and policymakers to rethink traditional infrastructure. Payments infrastructure, right? Being able to buy or sell. Okay? And regulatory frameworks to reduce cross-border friction and boost trust in domestic financial systems. Nobel Prize winner Jean Tirole warns that poorly regulated stablecoins could trigger systemic financial risks, including bank-run style panics and taxpayer-funded bailouts, especially troubling if stablecoins lack robust backing or supervision. And keep in mind, okay, this is just what ChatGPT is coming with. There's been a lot of other significant movements towards RWAs, which is real world assets. Okay, which it's a whole other video for another time, because that's a deep stuff. Okay. Tokenized financial infrastructure and unified ledgers. The Bank for International Settlements. Okay, and that's a huge institution, man, very powerful institution. Has highlighted groundwork being laid for the next generation of monetary systems, including tokenized central bank reserves, commercial bank money, and government bonds, all potentially operating on a unified, programmable ledger. Okay? This represents a deeper infrastructure shift that could enable unrivaled tracking and control over financial assets. Okay? We won't go over Pennsylvania really cares about, state level stuff. The important thing is that it's happening in a lot of states. The U.S. rejects retail CBDC, yet advances cross-border research. The U.S. issued an executive order halting all work on a retail CBDC, making it unique among its peers. Still, the country continues to engage in wholesale CBDC research, collaborating with other central banks via Project Agora. Okay? So all this is happening, plus you have the RWAs, man. Let's get this. That was a lot of reading. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, and it's the main thing that they're focusing on is buying and selling. It's like I stated earlier in the video, which is pretty common sense. Okay, that people live on this system now, and the scriptures say that what our people should what go for him and want of all things. Okay, everything that is given to us. Okay, all these products, the food, the water, so on and so forth, is provided by Esau Edom. Okay, and the Lord is going to give him the go ahead and implement this system, man. And the Lord is going to really show who he's dealing with at that time. Okay, because the Lord's servants are going to eat. All right, the Lord's servants are going to drink. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you won't be able to partake in commerce. Okay? If you don't receive his mark. Because this devil wants himself to be seen as a god, to be worshipped as a god. Okay? Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay? And like I was getting into, this devil, he wants to be worshipped as a god, man. You know? He goes against the Bible at every whim. You know, he's used the Bible to control people, but now it's time for him to create his own world religion. Okay, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, that they shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. Okay, which is why he's trying to turn everything upside down. You know, every trend that he pushes out there with his media machine is anti-biblical. Okay, it's all abominations. Abomination means it be against the Most High, or that is worship, so that he is God. I'm reading this verbatim. Sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, he wants to be worshipped as a god. You know, and he believes in using food as a weapon. He's going to use food as a weapon, man. All right, you bet your ass. He always has, and he's about to show you just how much he wants to use food as a weapon, man. Because it's the ultimate control when you control people's food. Okay? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know that what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Okay, and he's being revealed right now, man. The whole world knows about the history of Esau Edom. The whole world knows about everything that he has set up in place to control people. Okay, well, maybe not the whole fucking world, because you got a lot of simps out there. Like Jake. 2/3 of Jake. Okay? Because they don't know what's coming, man. And that's okay, because, hey, you know, Lord willing, the Lord protect his hopeful elect, okay? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Okay? Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, and the Lord is going to take these devils down when he's eating. Okay, in the middle of eating. You know? Was it Job 20? Job 20 and 22. Right? Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Meaning what? When he's trying to fully implement his New World Order, right? Right when he's at the apex of it, getting people CHIP, getting everything integrated into this new system and having it running and operational, right? He shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, okay, meaning what? When he's filling his belly with those souls of those people that receive his mark, okay? Because you're gonna have to make an oath to these devils, man. You know, you're gonna have to worship them. Okay, you have to worship them to be in this new world order. All right. When he is about to fill his body, how Bashem Yahushai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. That's why we ain't worried about getting no damn CHIP, man. Okay? The Lord is going to cast his fury upon him, man, when he's eating, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay? The Lord is going to bring this devil down right when he thinks he's won the war. Okay? But we got to overcome that hour of temptation, man. All right? We got to overcome that hour of temptation. But with that, Lord willing, y'all were edified. Till next time, shalom.